It's a very inspiring place to be, right? I was just realizing that I wish we would have that in Academy of Arts as well, a space that is full of material and physical matter. So in a way, I hope you have had an inspiring day. I would be starting the last session. It would be 15 minutes, and I think we're close to a good conversation in the end. As mentioned, I'm the dean, but I'm also a researcher in Timber Architecture Research Center, PAC, as well as a practicing architect in my own office, shared together with Siim Tuksam. So in a way, I would be jumping in different worlds, but I hope you can stick with me. So the office called Part Architects was started like 10 years ago, and now since 3 years ago, we actually have the Timber Architecture Research Center, PAC, initiated. And why I'm telling those in parallel is because they are strongly connected to each other. As strongly as saying that with my office partner, we both defended our PhDs in 2020, and since then we became from junior researchers to researchers and started our own algorithmic research group. And with these projects, we actually have been through several studies from the scale of buildings, like a typical new contemporary apartment building for Tallinn, up to small scale bus stations, as well as large-scale renovation wave. But I'm not gonna stop too long on this now, because there's several projects, several scales, and I would actually dig into two of them. One direction is the slender facade. Slender is the reference to Lender buildings, and the other direction is elementarial, looking at the residues of CLT. So slender facade is tapping into renovation wave in the most sustainable possible way, meaning how we can better the life qualities of the people in those apartments. 14,000 apartments needs to be renovated by 2050, 1,600 is done. So we still have time and a chance to look into of bettering the life quality. This is one of the rare panel buildings that actually have balconies. One point we started constructing only Hrushchovkas, where it was the ceiling height had lowered, the panels, the balconies were reduced, and the windows were smaller. But what's important is that they were all prefab, and prefab is something that the timber industry in contemporary in Estonia is now also trying to re-specialize on actually prefab panels, mostly connected to insulations. So our question was if we could come from those 60-year ago buildings into contemporary world, what's the new layer, new historic layer that we should add on top of them? Should there be a room extension? Should be their accessibility bettered, etc.? And just few simple moves that we have proposed in our 2-year research grant is like, what if we would take away the lower part of the apartment windows? What if we add the insulation layer within the hidden new structure is embedded, where the cantilevering parts then be able to hang, where you can hang your new balconies, if they're French balconies or they're energy producing balconies, or even closed ones. Or what if you extend all the windows that you have in your 2-room apartment into 11 additional square meters? And this project's been done together with Bollinger Grohmann, an engineering company, and really taking a deep dive into how we could implement that now today and how to raise the affordability of these solutions. And in here, we look at the steel skeleton at the moment, looking at the maximum cantilevers. It turns out that 1.2 meters is feasible to be extended, the depth of the balcony. But of course, if there's a chance, we can always add poles, add posts to go down and extend it even further. But the problem of most of those apartments is the fact that we don't have a land, they don't own a land surrounding their buildings. So basically we are setting up this kind of second skin possibility, and this could be then filled with whatever. But it could be filled with unheated spaces, which will have a possibility to be like winter gardens, but of course also extend the famous 8 square meter kitchen. Like all those apartments were with 8 square meter kitchen, like what if we would have actually additional 11? And in terms of materiality, so let's get into the timber now. I think it has to have a strong contrast. This new layer that we're adding should have a contrast to existing buildings and maybe softening the environment of those areas. And what we have been working on is mostly a digital tool, how to bring that back to the users, how to make it possible to work on the in algorithmically, automatically, to get information from digital twin, bring this into your working board, for example, even for architects. I can imagine being an architect and then having this 3D model imported right away with all the surrounding geometries, and then work on this. Maybe this is more of a view of how one apartment owner can start then looking into if I want, what kind of balconies I want. And basically what we can do with this is to have this very homogeneous environment into much more heterogeneous one. Yeah, that's my hope for where the future of renovation would go. In order to convince people, so we used to build churches to convey people into believing into religion. Then I think we're still constructing small chapels. This one is constructed next to our university, Støyen Academy of Arts, where we tested all those additional elements, the staircases, the balconies, the chunks that could be also energy surfaces, energy collecting surfaces, as well as planters in front of the building. So we take this black box as this kind of a fixed geometry, the existing building geometry, and then we added there the volumetric facade. Now jumping to another side, the elementarial study. So as said, on 2020, we looked into that already, and now 5 years later, we've been asked what if we can continue with this study by Atomic, as well as looking at the residues of what we can do with it. And the residues are quite simple output of the CLT industry. So all those windows and doors that are cut off, and invariable information says it's up to 20%. We asked our biggest CLT producer in Estonia, Arcwood, like what's the percentage of theirs, and it's between 6 and 7% of the material being used being an offcut. And that's a huge number. So the question was, can we start constructing out of those residues? And we looked at the normal A-frame sort of 1970s typology for housing, for summer housing, and we realized that there's this strong direction there could be a strong connection. What if we break it back in, and we would have much more of under the building surface in this case. And then, of course, now working on the geometry, working on the structural studies, and then also resulting within this 4-month research project into building. And these are the SML scale buildings ranging from 20 to 60 square meters, and looking at ways how the sauna house could grow into a bigger family house. Our structural studies in terms of the internal forces, the different kind of tools that we applied, again, together with Bollinger Grohmann, we understood that how we should stitch our elements together and have sort of a principal stress following the directions of those elements. Arriving to assembly questions and also a potential kind of environment, like the interior environment qualities that this could have. And those scales, I'm now just showing you the small one, but it's super packed, but still has this open accessibility from both sides. You have a small water unit as well as then the sauna and the living part in front of it. We are hopefully stepping into a next stage with this project to really land on a building system that allows all of those materials as well as those spaces to be tested. So to wrap it up, I think what we do in our research group, or what in general what we do in BUCK, we try to find and develop, we try to find problems and develop the tools, digital tools, to connect those with digital twins, online platforms, and all the architects programs. We also, what we want to do is to land on actually constructing physical prototypes, because I think we need people to start believing what we're doing to be the better solution, so we need physical, experienceable space. And then, of course, land into educating the future architects who are able to apply those tools in their daily life. So, thank you.